Hey guys, it's the Injury Bloke here, bringing you simple and effective solutions to all your aches, pains, needles, knocks, injuries and training. Today, I'm going to talk about a really common shoulder problem that we see in fighters, combat sports, grappling, boxing, that sort of thing, and hopefully give you some simple solutions to sort it out. Hope you enjoy. So, probably the most common injury I see in fighters in the shoulders is a shoulder impingement. Really common. And what happens is you've only got a little bit of space here. And what happens is the tendon can quite easily get caught up in there, and then it can become acutely inflamed. The tendon can swell, and it becomes very sharp and stabby and difficult to use and painful to use. The reason is it's a change in posture. So what happens with fighters is we take this posture here, we round off the shoulder. So boxing, we're here. If we're grappling, we're very often curled up in this position, and we get a decrease in space in the shoulder joint, and this tendon will become rubbed, frictioned and painful. So particularly when we're doing things like hook punches here, it will stab and it will hurt. Just lifting your arm, it will probably stab and hurt. If you're a trainer on the pads, because you're in this constant elevated position taking shots, again, it's really easy to get this shoulder impingement. It's caused through one muscle, part of the rotator cuff complex. It's the supraspinatus, which is a rotator cuff muscle at the top here. So what we're going to do, or what you're going to do, is particularly straight after training, and in between training, if you're suffering with it in between training, is we're going to pop some ice on this area. Not bags of peas. They don't last long enough. The cold doesn't last long enough with those. We need a proper ice pack or some crushed ice in a bag so that it stays good and cold for about a 10-minute spell. And we're going to apply ice to this area right here for 10 minutes, 3 times an hour, especially after training. And that's just going to calm down all the swelling and the inflammation, and hopefully we'll give you some pain relief, but hopefully it'll decrease this pinching and stabbing that you're feeling. The other thing you're going to do is you're going to stretch the supraspinatus. Because we're constantly elevated here, it all becomes a bit bunched up, if you like, a bit tense and a bit held. And so what we're going to do is stretch out that muscle. Dead simple. Push the problem arm behind your back. Take it up your back as much as you can, so that this will actually stretch your supraspinatus. To add a little bit more to it, just pull your head over to one side and you'll get a little bit of a sharp sensation. Shouldn't be painful, just a little bit sharp. And you just hold that there 30 seconds, 60 seconds, often, because you're trying to undo the impingement. In order to undo it, it's a long time of stretching. Right, some other stuff you can be looking at doing as well, because it might not, and it probably isn't just the sport that's causing it, that's causing the change in posture. You know, you might be here for an hour and a half, 3 times a week, but you might be sat at a computer desk for 8 hours a day, or you might be driving, doing a lot of mileage in a car, and again, it causes all this roundness of the shoulder. It all rounds off and we lose space in here. So it isn't necessarily the sport, it's just an accumulation that gets you to the point of it being impinged. So if you've got these kinds of jobs as well that's rounding us off, and most of us have, then you really need to be looking at opening and stretching this even more. So other stretches you can be looking at doing are to stretch your chest muscles, because they'll open everything back up. Stretch your lats to open everything back up. So you're trying to create a taller, more open posture. This will give you more space in the joint and less chance of this impinging. So yeah, I hope you found that useful, guys. if this is something you've had and found other things that help, please drop it in the comments. Or if there's anything that you'd like me to cover, I'm going down a fighters series at the moment because I've recently taken up boxing, which I haven't done combat sports for quite a long time. So I'm going to cover some combaty stuff, injury stuff, because that's really floating my boat at the minute. So if there's anything you want me to talk about, drop it in the comments and I'll have a look at it for you. Cheers guys, all the best.